Same me, same project, same amount of work. I just stopped making these 8 mistakes that were silently killing my Claude Code sessions without me even knowing about it. And none of this requires a more expensive plan because trust me, I'm on the pro plan right now, the $20 per month, and I am not planning to upgrade it. I'm going to give you 8 techniques, and technique number 3 will genuinely cut down at least 50% of your usage tokens alone. But first, I have to show you something that most people have never seen before. So there's something in Claude Code called the context window. So think of it like a whiteboard. Every time you message, every response you get from Claude Code, it's written on that whiteboard. So as the whiteboard starts filling out, Claude starts getting slower, it starts contradicting itself, and eventually it will hit that wall, the rate limit. And that's the end of your session. Then you need to wait for 5 hours to reset that session again. Hi, I'm Kaylee. On this channel, I break down AI tools for non-techies. Even a business student like me can use it in their daily lives. Okay, so here's what nobody's telling you when you are using Claude Code. Every single time when you send a message, it rereads the entire conversation from the very start. Let's just say that one message costs you around 700 tokens. Message 30, that's almost 15,000 tokens for the same exact message. In a 100 message chat, 98.5% of all tokens were spent rereading chat history. Isn't that so crazy? Not doing new work, by the way, just rereading. So that means that your token usage isn't just adding up, it's compounding. And now that you see this, the 8 techniques that I will be showing to you will actually start making sense. Make sure you clear everything between every single task. I know it feels like, oh, you're losing something, but if you think about it, you're actually clearing up that whiteboard for something more important. Because why would you need something about topic A when now you're on topic B? You erase everything about topic A, and then now let's do topic B. Okay, so for all the non-techies and also just people who use Claude Code, we all know whenever Claude gets it wrong, we just say, hey, fix it. And then when Claude actually gets it right, I'm like, okay, cool, we move on. But the failed attempt is still sitting on the whiteboard. So every single message after that is carrying around that dead weight. That /re command, what it does and stands for is rewind. It rewinds before Claude even made that mistake. Back to the allegory with the whiteboard, we plug in this math equation, we let Claude do it, and we realize that, oh, this is the wrong answer. Before you prompt the new message, use the /re rewind. But pretend Claude did not actually attempt that first attempt, which is the wrong attempt. The whiteboard is still in a blank state. Number 3, this one saves 50%. I am not even exaggerating. Literally my lifesaver. And that is your Claude.md file. What is a Claude.md file for the non-techies, you may ask? Claude.md is a file you put in your project that Claude reads from the very start at every single session. So every single time when you prompt, Claude will be reading that MD file and it's loaded automatically. It does it every single time without you even asking. If you've crammed a lot of stuff on that MD file, chances are it's going to be rereading it for each session whether you like it or not. Keep it under 200 lines. Make it super concise. Only put in what Claude genuinely needs to do the job. Background information, the folder structure, rules it needs to follow for every single session and nothing else. So whenever you're using Claude, and obviously there's going to be bugs everywhere, right? So if you see an error pops up and you're like, oh my goodness, hey Claude, I pasted it in, go fix it. That's what we usually do, right? So then Claude goes exploring. It reads every single file, trying to understand where is the bug. So imagine if you have tens and thousands of files in that folder and Claude is going through all of them to look for that one particular bug. Imagine how packed your whiteboard must be. So instead, tell it exactly where the error is. Be as specific as possible. So that means that yes, you need to know which file is doing what in order to have that context and say, hey, at this file, there is a bug. Paste in what the bug is so that Claude would go directly to that file instead of rereading the entire folder. Don't wait for Claude to compact itself. Start compacting at 60%. So Claude has this auto compact feature. So when your session gets to around 95% full, it automatically starts summarizing the conversations to free up space. This is actually very, very bad. When it compacts at 95%, it's doing the summarizing work at the exact moment that Claude is performing at its absolute worst. The summary is going to be bad and you're going to be losing a lot of important things. What you should be doing is start using the command /compact at 60%. Sub-agents. Think of them as interns with their own whiteboards. Well, you know how we have this huge whiteboard, right? Well, imagine that we actually hire other small interns and they have their own individual whiteboards. Spin up a sub-agent. Just say, spin up a sub-agent to read through /components folder and give me a summary. You are basically just delegating all of the work to a sub-agent to focus on that one particular folder. Plan mode before you build anything. Without planning and you just let Claude start building whatever, it's going to get the wrong thing and then you need to correct it again and it rebuilds and then it corrects itself again. And every correction is a full reread of the entire whiteboard. So think of how many times that you're making Claude reread the entire whiteboard for every mistake that you've made. And these mistakes could easily been avoided if you did plan mode ahead. So make sure that during your plan mode session, you explain your idea thoroughly and very detailed and get Claude to spew back all of the plans, the structure, the folder, everything. And once you reread through everything and you're like, yep, this is exactly what I want, the probability of you getting a mistake would be a lot lower. Number 8, that is /BTW. This one's pretty niche. I don't think a lot of people know it. Let's just say that you are deep in session, something unrelated comes up. A very, quick question, a side thought, something you just want to check. If you type it in the main session, it opens a quick overlay. Claude answers and it never enters your entire conversation history. It's completely invisible to the whiteboard. And I use this constantly. Quick questions, spot checks, sanity checks, all through /BTW. So none of this requires an upgrade from your current plan, and none of this requires any technical setups. They're just habits. And the difference between doing them and not doing them is absolutely wild. Anyways, drop a comment down below and let me know which technique has worked for you. I read every single comment, and make sure to like and subscribe if you found this helpful. See you in the next video.